Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, one of the rulers of Hell, or specifically Manga Hell, and today I am here to review the newest chapter of My Hero Academia, chapter 382, titled No Man is an Island. Kind of a weird title considering the context, but maybe there's some reference to it that I'm simply not getting. Or maybe I'll realize why it's titled that a bit later. But anyways, let's get into this chapter. Since I'm guessing we're gonna get some nice characters, if you know what I mean, in this one. So yeah. Now the first page we got here is basically we got flashback again. Funny, the Iruma-kun also had a flashback at the beginning of the chapter, and now My Academia has it as well. I wonder if One Piece also has it. So, anyways, we get a flashback of when Tartarus was attacked. And we get a bit of a time frame being like about 1 month ago. Okay, have there actually been stated numbers at this point about how long has it been since the war? Because I'm pretty sure it's always something like a month ago or something. Or about a month ago, or a couple of weeks or something, I don't know. So yeah, then we get narrations. The Counterquant Maximum Security Special Prison Tartarus. As we see, like the destruction is serious. Like there's a bunch of like buildings even collapsing on top of each other. As we see like a prisoner running, and we see this prisoner like starting to talk, and he's like, "Blah ha ha, women, give me some women. Never thought I would see that day when I could start collecting females again." Huh. Surprised to see this type of villain would be in Tartarus, considering All for One, overhaul, muscular, moonfish. And I'm guessing Gigantomachia was confirmed to come here as well as Kurogiri, and I'm guessing Kurogiri as well. So it's a bit surprising to see this petty level villain to be there. But oh well, what can you do? And we see this petty villain being killed immediately by Stain. Like, not even all that importantly, literally just like a piece of stone that was probably like grabbed immediately by Stain, just sliced his throat. I guess Stain's idea of a birthday present for me is gonna be a new wet mattress for me to to stab. I'm a demon, so I do that type of stuff all the time. And then we have Stain being like, what's going on here? And then we see him hide behind a wall as we see like a bunch of villains just escaping. And some are more unique while others are more basic. And then I'm guessing we get some I'm guessing narration be like we get Stain's thoughts and he's like, I haven't heard a word of news about anything beyond these walls since my arrest in Hosu City. But if Tartarus has fallen, the world beyond must be in dire states. And I just find it funny how Stain looks without his mask and no nose in this one. It kinda looks like very derpy. And then we have information is necessary. And then we see Stain coming to the control room that we've seen as we see a bunch of like cracks and breaking stuff and a bunch of prison guard corpses on the floor. And then he's like, there's nothing left here. As things, Amir notices one security guard holding something, and he's like, the others met their crispy hands gripping firearms. Although, because of the image we see before, at best I could say is they were trying to grab firearms, but they were too slow. And like, but this one clutches something else, like a baby in his arms. And then we get a close up of Sting grabbing at something that seems like a data disk, and the god is still somewhat alive. Oh, I guess conveniently, it's more accurate to say. It's like why grab this and not a weapon? I guess he's asking this to Stain because, like, all right, I get you would grab us and try to steal us, but wouldn't you want to grab a gun so you could, have a better chance of escape or better chance to do whatever? The whatever. So why would he grab a dad? That's a weird thing. And then we have same be like direct breathing of a man doomed to die. And then Stain just responds to him being like, I require information. And then the god starts to speak, and I don't think, no, I'm not sure who this guy is. I think we might have seen him, but I'm not sure on exactly who. And it's got maybe it's some like background god that just has a very generic look to it. But yeah, anyways, this guy's like then Shizome Akaguri. You worked with Shigaraki. This is not for you. And then stands like this very pissed off expression, like, so it's something that matters then. As he grabs the other guy's hand to pull it away and just takes the data. And then stands like store data. And then he starts walking away from the door. And then the security guard, you killer, drop it. That must reach the right people. Give it back, not for you. Must do my duty. And then Stain starts to speak. I'm guessing this era has gone away. Rest assured, your conviction will reach the right man. And then the security guard, then looks and he also something I should mention is the security guard actually grabbed the guy and pointed at Stain, but now instead of shooting at, he's just as it seems like the entire fucking room is starting to completely crumble on top of itself, being like, and the security guard is like, Akaguro, are you a man or a beast? And then we see again the building collapsing, well, the room collapsing, as Stain tells him, I'm merely an ally to the world as it should be, but a beast all the same. So basically, what all Stain's saying, yeah, I'm a beast, like no doubt about it, but I'm not a beast for villainy. I'm a beast for heroism. And then we see a picture of All for One, like above everyone, as I'm guessing the helicopters filled with prisoners are who have been conquered by prisoners are going away. Since I'm not sure if the prison guards are still alive even. As him, like I'm guessing laughing maniacal for getting his army, as Shigaraki is right below him, and a bunch of other ones are going, I guess, to a different direction for it. And then Stain is looking at that. He's like, the nameless man guarded this data to his dying breath. As for its true value, I cannot say. And then we see a picture of Stain like jumping into the river, falling back to when we saw him before the conversation. Well, before I guess time skip, where Stain was coming from the. I think it was like in a theme park or something, like coming from coming to the shores. So I guess that's the case. And you gotta give Stain credit because the tidal waves here look insane. Like it looks like you're in that area where you're not allowed to go on the on the what do you humans call them what do you humans call them not pools oceans. Yes, those areas where they have like on those oceans where you could go and there's that one area where you are not allowed to because that's too deep for you. That's why it looks to be like here. Like he's in that area where you cannot breathe, which does make sense. So you gotta give Stain credit. And then we get a continuing conversation about from Stain. So I will deliver it to the only one who has earned my trust, referring to All Might. And then we have continued. To this final moment, that guy held a dying ember of resolve. To act for society's sake, you must pick up where he left off. And then we see like a bunch of newspapers about like All Might shocking retirement and that was into number one and all that type of stuff. So yeah, kind of surprising to see Stain giving a random prison guard credit while he pretty much gives no other hero any credit, even if he doesn't even know them. A bit surprising. Now we cut away from Stain's portion of the flashback, and we get some other part of the flashback or some other story. As we have, I guess, an explanation to where this is taking place, and this is All Might delivered the intel to Tsukauchi's people and later rejoined team after speaking with Deku at UA. So I guess this is like him getting the information to Tsukuuchi or like giving a briefing on it. And then we have oh I guess before this we even had like a panel with saying something like because everything began with you, which is kind of true. Well, then it all began with all for one, but anyways, yeah. Then we get Tsukauchi in like more of a fucking badass look. I mean, it's very simple. It's just like a small goatee, well, a bit of like a mustache, small little hair around, nothing much, and like very like tired eyes. As he starts speaking, he's like, "Glad to hear you patches things up with Midoriya. Anyhow, we are really losing faith getting help from a killer like this, but." And then we get him explain as we see. I'm guessing that one of the meatball students' father there being like, well, picture of him is Tsukuchi's like, Tatara's system is a standalone one built that way in order to prevent interference from external forces. So normally nobody else would have access to this data in any form. So I guess this is like an explanation to why there'll be some data that Tartarus has that the heroes don't have. And then get more explanation what there was a data on the disk, and we get like, as for the data itself, it concerns the cause of their system shutdown. The same radio waves that Shiraki made extensive use of in the main battle. In this case, the president was hit with those blasts over and over from both inside and out. And we get that cat that seems to have like a scratch, like a bit of a damage on its head, being like, because All For One himself must have synchronized with his Vastas residing within Toma Shigaraki, right? Because they are mentioned like how exactly they were able to communicate so perfectly for them to be able to do that. And then Omai's like, well, Sansa, yes, the piece of his consciousness inside his quirk works as a conduit for sharing thoughts. I've experienced the same phenomena with One For All, taking back when Izuku was in the bed and, they were speaking with the other vestiges. As Omatin tells him, the problem is that it isn't a two-way channel. As Sean says in like, huh? And Omai gives us a bit more of an explanation on this. And he's like, the vestige of me within One For All seems to have access to my thoughts, but I never experienced any sort of instinct with the vestige's thoughts. And then we see like a picture of All Might and All Might going like he can like see the vestige, like feel what's going on, but know like that vestige to him. And he's like, except recently when I touched the boy, or rather when I was close enough to touch him, whenever my vestige was thinking and feeling sort of felt followed into me. It's not words exactly, more like feelings flowing through you. Even if we supposed that All For One can sink to a greater degree than One For All, do we really believe his real body locked up 500 meters below sea level could receive such specific thoughts from the vestige in Shigaraki? And Sansa's then like, strange things, right? Kind of like a twin connection. So yeah, I guess they're kind of mention like, all right, even if he would have an improved connection, being improved to such a level is hard to believe. So yeah, there we have Tsukauchi saying that could be very, very well be put in this case. They use those radio waves to communicate. And then we have a bit of a flashback with Shiraki again. Well, not a small panel with Shiraki, and they're like, these radio waves can be used as signals to give the normal very specific commands. Going back to volume 28, where Shiraki was able to get those Nihaya and Nomus to follow his orders. And then we have to be like, we should assume that a man in possession of that same quirk could receive and interpret those waves. So we're saying, considering they have like the same quirk, they could potentially do the same thing as the normal. And then we have even more, and the waveform data on that storage media resembles a conversation. As Tsuruchi is like, there's already been decoded. What were they saying? Oh no, Sansa was the one who's saying that. And then Tsuruchi is like saying, make it complete in 38 days. And Sansa like, oh? And I was like, but based on the research from Central Hospital, I thought we had 2 months, no? Which is true, it was, I believe, it says in the last chapter. But All Might's then like, he could have rigged the results we were bound to get as a bluff. Only he and his vassals could interpret that correspondence at the time. So if we assume they disclose the true schedule, then Tomoshiraki will be complete vassal in 3 days' time. We'll get into this in the end of the chapter a bit. So then we got to some random building in the world with a bunch of flags around it. I'm guessing this is their version of the real world government. And then we have someone saying a direct request from All Might, yes. I'm guessing this is supposed to be like the next day, or literally a couple of hours, maybe. Like as soon as you get the ability to communicate with everyone. And then we have a bunch of people, 5 people sitting at a desk, and they're like, but this sort of dispatch can't happen in a day. Even in the best of times, an international deployment effort takes a staggering amount of procedure, and paperwork. And another one's like, the strength of our heroes is directly tied with domestic power. When they go abroad, our nation is less able to deter attacks and the balance crumbles. And then another one's like, a large scale deployment tends to encourage the major crime syndicate to stir up trouble. But this time it's worse than ever. Countries all over the world are in turmoil, almost as if those syndicates are working together. And then we have another guy, according to the Interpol, the man known as All for One has underworld connections in the number of countries. Again, something we'll get into the end of the chapter. And then we get 2 panels with the heroes that appeared in the last My Academia movies. As we see the people in charge of those two being like, even so, we cannot disagree this earnest plea from Endeavor Hawks and most notably All Might. And then my nation's hero, Salam, is quickly losing patience. He has taken to muttering, I will flatten that All for One. And the other guy being like, that same goes for our hero, Big Red Dot. He questions why aiding a friend must involve so much red tape. Which is true. And now we get, I'm guessing the American president be like, on that note, ours already left. As the rest are like questioning, as that guy is like, she couldn't sit around any longer. I hate when this happens. And then he's like, she skipped out on everything and just flew off. And then we see a bunch of ships with the nurse being like, well, the guy being like, hey, no skin of, no, I mean, no, I'm guessing, no, by the luck, it seems to be like a bunch of soldiers or people flying the plane that she's standing on, be like, hey, no skin of our back, Star. This mission's guaranteed to get the green light anyway, sooner or later. Besides, the request came from All Might himself. I mean, this is a new heroine, and this is, and she continues, my mass is in a pickle. Why would I think twice? And then we have the narration be like, United States of America's #1 hero, Star Stripe. And it's a beautiful, thick chick. That has a very strong All Might resemblance, in all honesty. Like, I feel like there's gonna be some is All Might her father theories already brewing. I can already hear them screaming down my ears. They're so fucking loud, by the way. Oh my god, is she beautiful. So, yeah. We get America's #1 hero in action. So, right now, I'm very hyped to see this Star and Stripe hero in action. Like, she is definitely only better than the older heroines in DC and Marvel for the last 5 years. I mean, 100%. Like, her design is already a billion times better. Like, even though we don't get like a good picture, she seems to be like a right combination of thick, feminine, and muscular, like Miracle. Which makes you wonder why DC Marvel can't do that. But anyways, I'm not a comic book devil, I'm a manga devil. So yeah. Now I feel like people are gonna be questioning what her quirk will be. Now the way I see it, she will probably have two quirks. Well, not two quirks, literally, I mean, there are two quirks that I would give picked for her. One, the one I more just wanna see have, and that's a quirk where you can create giant walls. Because I feel like a visual of someone getting punched and then a giant wall coming from them would look badass. That's like just straight up, it would be badass. Like imagine Jen, her like holding someone, like maybe a random frog or something, and she punches them and then says like something like big, beautiful wall. As that just creates like a giant steel wall and sends that guy flying. That would be great. But a quirk that I feel like would make more sense, especially considering the fact that she was standing on a plane and was virtually had no effect on it, would be something like a gravity quirk similar to Dante's gravity magic or Fieri's gravity ignite ability type of thing. Because, you kind of get the whole Superman type of look to her, similar that All Might and Captain Celebrity have. So you would think her quirk might be something like that, which I could see, and I feel like gravity would work. I mean, I just look at Dante, the first battle with Dante versus the Black Bulls, if you wanna see what I mean. So I could see something like that as well. But needless to say, I'm excited to see her in action. Now, the second thing we shall talk about now is the part where the United States, that all for one has hands in other nations' criminal underworlds. I'm guessing this might hint at us getting not only the heroes from other countries coming to Japan, but also villains like Transylvania. Transylvania's number one villain, Werewolf, will show up, or Dracula, or whatever you want to pick. Or like America's number one villain, the Bloody Clown. His body count is, I don't know, in numbers of a fucking world war. I don't know. I feel like one of those things is gonna like. I feel like that might also happen. Purely because I do feel like if Overwatch is so influential and they even mentioned that, oh yeah, All for One has influence in the other underworlds, and since we have the other heroes coming, and the villains don't even have a reason, like, the only reason why the villains wouldn't come to Japan to follow All for One, well, one, I'm not sure how loyal they are, would be to him, but it's like, maybe someone would interrupt them when they are leaving on boats or something, or that you could just have it be like All for One was the one who was getting them. How if they have all those helicopters, I wouldn't be surprised if as soon as they removed those some chips, like tracking devices on the helicopters, they like went to other countries, grab everyone. In fact, that might be why All for One hasn't been seen, because I do believe the last time we've seen All for One was that he was on a helicopter going somewhere. So it's possible that he went to other countries to collect some of the most evil and powerful villains he could find. That would be amazing. It would be an all-out world war, basically. Oh, I'm excited for that part. Now, let's also talk about something that some people may ask, and this is, how close are we to the ending of the series? Because with a statement like, we have 3 days until the final battle, people are a bit starting to get a bit worried. Like, are we gonna end this in like 5 more volumes, or 3, or how long? Listen, people, these 3 couple of days, again, could just be the lobo, could be like the false information type of thing. I mean, remember, it's there that they do not exactly know. Like, they say that the not 2 months could have been a bluff, but it's also possible that the 3 days are a bluff, or maybe like there's some like in between there where Shiroki's body will be complete. In fact, it could even be revealed that Shiroki's body is already complete. It's just that, you know, they decide to like wait. Let's see how much what they'll. Let's see what their response will be. So guys, I won't take the days they're giving us for a confirmation. And again, if we're getting other countries' heroes, as well as possibly other countries' villains involved, I could easily see this be way longer. Like, this could literally be as long as One Piece's current arc, where they're like 107 70 two, I think like one is approaching like the 150 or something number. Like I could easily see this be like a that long of a fucking arc. So I feel like we still have like possible years before this is at the end. And that's of course assuming this is not just like a Naruto thing with it's like just the end of part one. Since I think Hiroshi did say something about we are approaching the end very quickly of part one. So yeah. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the chapter. I hope you guys leave you tell me in the comments below what you think of this chapter, what do you think is gonna happen. And yeah, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all the people next time. Goodbye.